I was always a quiet kid. While everyone else spent their afternoons riding bikes or playing baseball, I wandered through the woods behind our house, inventing adventures that only existed in my imagination. My father worried that something was wrong with me. He thought I needed to socialize more. My mother, however, believed I was simply creative. She encouraged my imagination and never questioned the stories I came home with. I had dozens of imaginary friends back then. Every one of them had a name, a personality, and a detailed backstory. Some were explorers, some were pirates, and others were heroes from worlds I had invented. They came and went as I grew older. Except for one. I never gave her a name. She was simply, the girl in white. She was pale, almost ghostly, as though she'd just recovered from a long illness. She never laughed, never smiled, and rarely spoke unless she had something important to say. Most of the time, she simply watched people. But whenever she did speak, she always knew things that no one else could possibly know. Whenever we walked through grocery stores, parks, or busy streets together, she'd quietly lean toward me and whisper, "That man won't be alive tomorrow. The woman in the red coat is stealing those cookies. Don't look at him, trust me." I never questioned how she knew these things. I just accepted that somehow, she did. As I got older, all of my imaginary friends slowly disappeared. She didn't. By middle school, she was still beside me every single day, quietly revealing the darkest secrets of everyone around us. She told me which classmates were being abused at home, who secretly hated their parents, who cheated on exams, who stole from stores, who lied every day, and even who secretly wished someone else was dead. At first, I thought it was just another game. But after hearing so many secrets, I started writing everything she told me inside a small notebook. I didn't know why I felt the need to record them. Something inside me simply insisted that I should. My mother became increasingly worried. She noticed I still spoke to someone who wasn't there and that I had almost no real friends. She begged me to spend more time with other children instead of disappearing into the woods every afternoon. Whenever I tried becoming close to someone, the girl in white would quietly reveal another terrible secret about them. After hearing enough, I always walked away. It became impossible for me to trust anyone. By my freshman year of high school, I couldn't take it anymore. One afternoon after school, standing completely alone, I shouted into the empty air, "Leave me alone." For several months, she continued following me without saying much. Then one day, she simply stopped appearing. Or maybe I had finally learned to ignore her. Either way, the whispers were gone. The strange feeling never completely disappeared, though. Even without her, I somehow still knew things about people before they happened. Not everything, just enough to make me uncomfortable. Without the constant whispers, life became easier. For the first time, I managed to make a real friend. Her name was Amy. Amy was funny, kind, and accepted me despite how quiet I was. I never told her about the girl in white. I thought some things were better left buried. Still, that strange instinct never left me. Before Amy's phone rang, I somehow knew she was crying. Before she started dating someone, I somehow knew whether he'd break her heart. Whenever someone was lying to her, I could feel it. Every warning I gave eventually proved to be true. At first, Amy appreciated it. She called me her guardian angel and joked that I could predict the future. Whenever something felt wrong, she'd ask for my opinion before making a decision. But over time, things changed. Whenever Amy met someone new, I'd somehow discover another terrible secret about them. I'd immediately tell her everything I knew, convinced I was protecting her. Soon she stopped making new friends. She began asking me how I knew these things. I never had an answer. I only knew I couldn't let anyone hurt her. No one else was good enough. No one deserved her friendship. Only me. Eventually, Amy started avoiding me. She stopped answering my calls and ignored my messages. I couldn't let her go. I watched from a distance. Whenever I learned another secret, I'd write it on anonymous notes and leave them in her mailbox. Your boyfriend has hurt women before. Your best friend is lying to you. Don't trust your new neighbor. The notes terrified her. She moved away. But even then, I stayed close. Years slowly passed. People barely seemed to notice me anymore. I became painfully thin. My skin turned unnaturally pale. Every time I caught my reflection in a window, I looked younger than I should have. Almost frozen in time. One quiet afternoon, while wandering through the woods behind Amy's new house, I noticed a little girl sitting alone beneath a tree. She reminded me of myself. Quiet. Lonely. Perfectly content being alone. I walked over and sat beside her. She smiled shyly. I don't really have any friends, she whispered. I smiled back. Neither did I. For a few moments, neither of us spoke. Then she looked at me and asked, "What should I do?" I leaned closer until my lips were beside her ear. Then I quietly whispered, "Tell your mom, her new boyfriend is cheating on her." The little girl's eyes grew wide. "How do you know that?" she asked. I simply smiled. Then I slowly stepped backward into the trees. As I disappeared into the shadows, I realized she had never asked my name. She probably never would. Because to her, I was simply the girl in white.